Well, we've reached the NBA All-Star break, which means a much-needed rest for the Indiana Pacers and the rest of the NBA. Indiana just finished a stretch of playing 53 games in 106 days. So for this week's Blue and Gold Breakdown, we thought we'd take a look at only the very best from those 53 games. Here are your top 10 highlights for the Indiana Pacers heading into the All-Star break. Pacers head into the break at 28-25. Here's number 10, and we start with George Hill doing his best Reggie Miller impression. He hits the three, then on the inbounds pass, comes up with the steal, retreats to the three-point line. That's 6 points in 8 seconds. Not quite Reggie Miller, but not bad for George Hill, your number 10 play. Now moving on to number 9, one of those crazy games in Chicago. Here's Monta Ellis hanging in midair for what seemed like a few seconds before getting that one to fall in a close game against the Bulls. Now on to number 8, we go to just a few games ago after Kobe Bryant's heroics. Mentee gets better of mentor right here to the rack, and one for Paul George puts the Pacers from down 1 to up 2. That's how much the Pacers would win by. At number 7, it's C.J. Miles, and check out the hang time here for C.J. and the follow. Look at the little Michael Jordan-esque, a left-handed version of it as he goes up and under against the Celtics back in January. On to number 6 against the Denver Nuggets. Here's Monta Ellis' second appearance. He goes to the hole, weaving through traffic. Denver was trying to trap him. Ellis found his way out. And on to number 5, we knew Lavoy Allen was good. We didn't know he could dunk quite like this. Another look in Brooklyn, this just a couple weekends ago, posterizing the Brooklyn defense. Now on to number 4. This is Paul George. The miss isn't the highlight. The rebound is part of it. This, in the Pac-Man opening of the mid-court logo, Paul George throws this one in from what must have been 35 feet. He thought he was bumped, but still a miraculous play from Paul George. On number 3, we'll stay with Paul George, and this is a whole game highlight for Paul. 48 points in Utah. It was a career high. It seemed like he couldn't miss, whether it was outside the three-point line. We saw him do it all, this time into the lane. He gets the and one there. And with the Pacers up by 3, this one looked like it might have salted it away as George on the spin gets it to go. Of course, the Pacers would drop this one in overtime. Now we will see Paul George at number 2, but it's a combined highlight with C.J. Miles. Who could forget this night? A record-breaking night out in Washington. Miles and George helped the Pacers hit 19 threes, and of any team in league history to make 19, no one has shot it as well as the Pacers did on this night. 73% from beyond the arc, Paul George and C.J. Miles. But number 1, this really goes without debate. It's the 19-year-old against the best player, arguably in the NBA, stuffing LeBron James. It was the Taco Bell Liv Moss moment of the week around the NBA. It doesn't matter how many times you watch this one. It's impressive from every angle. The 19-year-old Pacers rookie Miles Turner getting the best of LeBron James in a tight game against Cleveland. Well, certainly some spectacular moments for the Indiana Pacers in the first 53 games of the season. Indiana will be back in action on February 19th out in Oklahoma City. But before that, we'll see Paul George on Sunday in the All-Star game, and Pacers.com is out in Toronto to give you wall-to-wall coverage as Paul George makes his second All-Star start. Then the Pacers back. It's next Friday against Oklahoma City. Tickets available for the Pacers stretch run for games here back inside of Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Single game tickets are available for the rest of the season. It's the Tickets tab right above us. I'm Pat Boylan. We'll see you next week on the Blue and Gold Breakdown.